Good afternoon. This is Eric Meeks, and today I'm going to talk about some of my leather-bound books. Whoops. While I play a little Van Halen. Some people may call it Van Hagar because this is later Van Halen, once Sammy joined the group. But I always liked Van Halen. Let me see what I can do about holding this better. Okay. These books behind me today, these are my leather-bound books in the house. And I buy them through a couple of different sources. A lot of it I just pick up at thrift stores. While I'm out and around, and just over the years, I've been able to buy them. Some I have bought out of collectible bookshops, okay, so I've been able to get nice ones. And if you notice that scattered through the books is my life with Tracy and our family together that we've had. So it's very important to me, family. Up here on the top shelf, okay, those are ones that I got from Barnes & Noble. Not expensive. They run around 20, 25 bucks each. But they do these really nice copies of classic works. And some of them sci-fi, some modern fiction. But like Ray Bradbury here, of course, you've probably heard me talk about him before. I love his works. And here we've got The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Man, and The Golden Apples of the Sun. All books of Ray Bradbury bound into a single leather-bound volume. Of course, I love Isaac Asimov, Lovecraft for old horror, Dune, and Neil Gaiman. Can you see those? There we go. Just fantastic books. Okay. And then Grey's Anatomy, just a nice book to keep on the shelf. Now here as we go down the shelf, okay, these are Harvard classics, okay, that are through here. Darwin, Origin of Species, Chaucer to Gray, Milton's poems, stuff like that. This one I squeezed in here. I was doing some research here in the last year or two on Frank James, okay? Great story on Frank James. He lived a long life, okay? But Jesse, as we all know, died early. He was shot by the coward, Robert Ford, who then went on to portray his killing of Jesse over and over again throughout the West and even into Europe, I believe. But this is a great biography that was written on Jesse long, long ago. And when I saw that it was available in a leather-bound copy, I hunted up one online and bought it. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I'll tell you, if you've never read The Art of War, I mean, this is standard military issue read for officers in many, many places. It's got, this copy has other things like Confucian Analects, the Tao Te Ching, the Great Learning, Doctrine of the Mean, the works of Mencius. Anyway, just a nice copy for you. I wish I could tell you I've read all of these, okay, but on this shelf, I'm probably in about the 20% that I've read of these. But as a lover of books, I put them on here. John Carter of Mars, right here. Now, if you didn't see that Disney movie that was made a couple years ago, that was a great movie. Tarzan of the Apes by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Of course, some Star Wars. Big Star Wars fan. So, but nice to have these in leather-bound copies, just to keep on it. Here's one that is a really good book. John Bartlett's Familiar Quotations. I picked that up at a thrift store for $1 or $2. Okay, and it's not an expensive book, but nice to have around. Sherlock Holmes. Now down here, okay, as we get down to this level of shelf, this is a set of Britannica encyclopedias from about the 1940s. And I like keeping those around because my kids these days are so used to just going online and Googling something or Wikipedia. I like to make them, when they have to do a report on the Civil War or Abraham Lincoln or whatever else in school, I make them go get the encyclopedia set out and do it old school as one of their sources that they use in their school studies. Now, this is a nice big set, and then over here, oh, my kids left a dirty glass up there. That's a picture of all my boys, okay? Or not all my boys, Zane's not in there, but the 3 older boys. Keep that up here on the shelf. Diary of the American Revolution. That was originally printed, I think, in the 1800s. Somebody took this set here and bound them. Oh, look, I bought those. Bought those for, I think I bought those at a library sale as I look at that. Did you see that? Okay, so sometimes I forget that. Down below is Franklin Mint and Easton Press. Okay, this sort of book right here, where it's got the ribbed spine. Okay, that's this one's Down Below Station by C.J. Cherryh. One of her better books, I would say, or at least recognized as one enough that I believe this is Easton Press, wanted to publish it in leatherbound for her. This is, right here, this is a very important book. Okay. This is my very first copy in hardback of The Author Murders. When I published this book, I took the very first one off the top and signed it to myself and just stuck it on the shelf. Kind of like a store owner who takes the first dollar bill that they ever made and frames it and puts it on the wall. Same for me with books. These are mostly right through here. These are mostly Barnes & Noble books again. That's a great picture of my dad, by the way. You've never seen my dad. He was not a small man, but I sure did love him. Still do. This one here, The Vampire Chronicles. See if I can show this right. Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Autographed copy, last one. Anne Rice will sometimes wander into Barnes & Noble in Palm Desert because she has a home in Rancho Mirage and sign every book that she has on the shelf. She's done that before. And I believe she's still doing it. Is this working still? Yeah, we're still working. Okay. Up here, Don Quixote by Cervantes. An excellent book. I hope you can see that. This one here, I gotta push this off to the side. That is a leather-bound copy of a book I wrote called The Witch of Tockwitz. And I just keep it up here on the shelf. It's 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. It's gotten a little beat up on there. You might see some white on the top right corner. But Tracy had that bound for me in leather a decade ago now when I first published that book. You know, I got to put on another song. This is not my favorite Van Halen song. That first one, okay, Why Can't This Be Love, is a great song. Let me move this over here. Oh, that was Dreams that I played for the first song. There you go. It's a good song. I got this stereo just recently out of a sale of a home. The owners didn't want to take it to South Carolina with them. So I got lucky and got a really good stereo. I upgraded my old one that I had. Okay, over here on this shelf, we've got, can you see those? Those red ones, that's part of the Stephen King library. So I've got a bunch of his books out of a special edition that he sold through Charles Grant Publisher. Sorry to say, I had to sell my copy of The Stand that was in there at one point, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. I think it was at the low point of the economy in 06 and 09 through there. I needed money, and so I sold the copy of The Stand. This set here, I never sold anything out of. These Isaac Asimovs, I'm trying to show those there. Hopefully you're getting those. That's a beautiful set of books. Every one of them has these fantastic full-color artworks done on them. I just like keeping those. I, Robot, you probably remember the movie with Will Smith. The book was a little different on that. The book was a collection of short stories. Caves of Steel. I always wondered why this was never made into a movie. It's a very simple to produce plot line with like two main characters in it. Heavy into robots and the 3 laws of robotics. Let's see here. What do we got on this one here? Okay, this shelf is largely Easton Press and Franklin Mint. Can you see that one there? The Franklin Library. Okay, so that's the Bold and Magnificent Dream. That's a story about the Civil War on that one there. Huckleberry Finn, more Isaac Asimov there, The Gods Themselves, Sprague de Camp. Here we have a small collection of Steinbeck's best novels right here. The Greats are outside Cannery Row, East of Eden. The little King Arthur. Okay, this is taken La Morte de Arthur, that's the death of Arthur, written in French. Gore Vidal writing a biography of Lincoln here. And can you see that one there's a signed first edition on it by Gore Vidal? Not signed by Lincoln, but a great copy of Moby Dick. Over here, let's see. That's my boy's sister. The 3 of them again. Not sure who that is. I think that's somebody on Tracy's side of the family. Here we got some Louis L'Amours. Okay. So I just put those into the shelf there too, and actually I've got 2 shelves of the Louis L'Amours. Star Wars. This was a nice one. I saw this at Barnes & Noble. You see that Star Wars? I'll try to pull it out. It's very heavy. What this is, okay, this is a collection of comic books that were all written about Star Wars. So taking a lot of the movie line. I think there's even some new stories in there with it. That was at Barnes & Noble on the sale table one time. Normally it's about a $50 item. I was able to pick it up for, I think, around $20. I think it was like half off. And then being a Barnes & Noble member, and something like that. And it was a nice big discount on it. Continuing over here, and leather-bound box set too on it. By the way, Tracy on her wedding day. Tracy's mom and dad on their wedding day. My grandfather, my dad, my grandmother, my Aunt Sonia. Okay, over there. Some of this stuff over here, these shelves are so crowded. Another Isaac Asimov, Prelude to Foundation. These are a history of the world written in about 1900, maybe 1870, somewhere through there. Late 1800s, about 1900 on it. This shelf would be a collection of a mixture. This is just kind of a catch-all of different titles. Three Musketeers, The Aeneid by Virgil, Gulliver's Travels, The Canterbury Tales, Jurassic Park. Nice picture of Tracy on Brahms' wedding day. Tracy is a crier on those sad days. But that's kind of it. Okay, we just went through the leather-bound stuff, and we're on to some harder rock here than I normally listen to, although I do like Van Halen. So there you go. See if I can catch both of those shelves behind me there. That's good. Okay, well, my name's Eric Meeks. Thank you, Vet, for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.